Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Seasonable temperatures for your weekend and more sunshine as well. We'll check those rain chances into the weekend and have the latest on Aaron coming up.
Oh, it's severe weather cleanup. Heavy rain overnight, toppling trees and flooding roads. We'll show you the hardest hit areas.
And it's move-in day. College students returning to campuses, how their arrival will affect the traffic that you see this weekend. That's a sight you're going to see a lot.
Yeah.
Parents helping their kids move back into college.
It's that time of year.
Yes, it is. We'll have that story and more coming up. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Ken Smith. Lots going on in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Let's get back to meteorologist Grant Skinner tracking it all for us.
Yeah, so this morning we had some brief showers very, very early this morning. Those quieted down. Again, those were from downpours last night. They quieted down this morning. Mostly quiet. A lot of sunshine this morning as well. You can see this area of low pressure moving to the south and east, bringing in some slightly drier air for today. We'll have a chance for some isolated showers and storms, but that rain chance is looking lower than the past handful of days. Here's Dual Doppler 5000 this morning. You can see most places are dry. There are some brief showers right along the coastline right now, right along that area of low pressure, but most are really quiet. It's really nice out there. Here's Fenton and Cary. You can see just some scattered cloud cover. Otherwise, a nice start to the day. We're also tracking Aaron closely. The hurricane hunters, both the Air Force hurricane hunters and NOAA hurricane hunters are inside of Aaron right now, getting more data to kind of figure out what's going on with this system. They want to find the center of the storm and also determine what the wind speeds are looking like. Based on current data, as of the 8 a.m. advisory, it is still a tropical storm. Maximum winds around 70 miles per hour. But also I'm noting here, this is the latest observation, so this is coming to you right now. 78 mile per hour surface wind. We could see some changes over the next handful of hours in terms of the strength and intensity of the storm. We're going to track it for you and let you know the latest coming up.
All right, Glenn, brand new information there about Aaron. We have a handful of incidents dotting a live traffic map, but what I want to bring your attention to is this one in downtown South McDowell, Morgan, that crash causing huge delays. And just know you have several other options to navigate downtown. You got Salisbury, you got Wilmington, you got Blunt. So keep that in mind if you're about to head out, because I know a lot of you are heading to your offices now in the downtown area. Officers are trying to clear this tree that's blocking part of the road on Kyle Drive, just off Highway 401 there in northern Wake County. Earlier, we had a live picture of it, and just partially blocking that road, and traffic was getting through there. So just keep that in mind as you're about to head out this morning. In terms of other things that's happening, let's take you outside, give you a live look at I-40 and Fayetteville Road. Traffic is definitely flowing nicely in both directions on I-40. I-885 was a troubled spot, but things are definitely getting better. You're looking at a 3-minute delay in and out of that particular area this morning. So things are improving. Other major routes in Durham, very little to no delays. And similarly, we're not seeing that much of a slowdown in many of our major routes coming into Raleigh as well. Just 3 minutes if you're coming in from Wake Forest. You're getting ready to head out the door. We've got you covered. 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Torrential rains overnight flooded roads and stranded drivers all across the Triangle. WRAL's Ali Calabar surveying the impacts across the area and the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. And Ali, you are in Cary right now. A lot of abandoned cars on the road, some downed trees. This is really a mess.
Yes, a mess is right, Michelle. And within the past 30 minutes, we've heard Ken mention those downed trees, more downed trees this morning. But here in Cary, the problem was flooding. You can see this water line here on this car, how high that water rose. One of the many impacts we saw from overnight downpours. Downed trees, flooded roads, and stranded vehicles. The impacts from overnight downpours. A tree fell on top of an SUV on Western Boulevard around 11:30. It caused a family to crash. On Capitol Boulevard, floodwaters trapped vehicles. There was a similar situation on I-40 where a handful of vehicles are now stranded. Those floodwaters, they have gone down overnight and into the morning. We're working to find out the extent of the damage from those downpours. Reporting in Cary, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
And we are trying to learn new information about a heavy law enforcement presence in Harnett County overnight. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker on McCoy Town Road near Highway 24. Video shows deputies and fire crews at a home surrounded by tape. Police at the scene would not confirm why they were there.
College students are returning to the Triangle this weekend to start the fall semester. Let's get to WRAL Kelsey Coffey. She's been at NC State all morning long with how traffic could be affected around campus.
College students are moving in across the Triangle. So if Western Boulevard is a part of your morning commute, head out early and give yourself a little bit of extra time because thousands of students are moving in at NC State today. You may want to avoid these three streets if you're driving near campus: Varsity Drive, Dan Allen Drive, and Morrill Drive. Check out this video of the Wolfpack class of 2029 moving in yesterday. Students will be moving into University Towers today. That's near Hillsborough Street and Dan Allen Drive. Expect traffic to be heavier than normal in that area. We also caught a glimpse of students at UNC moving in. Students started moving in there on Wednesday. Move-in is scheduled to wrap up on Sunday. Duke students will start moving in tomorrow. Now, university officials there say that they're expecting a lot of traffic near East and West Campus, so be mindful of that if you're driving in Durham this weekend. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Well, WRAL is hearing from the family of a 16-year-old assaulted during a road rage incident in Wilson. The family says the encounter had a lasting impact. Pictures show scratches on the teenager's face after he was reportedly attacked. Lindsay Herring says his son told him a pickup truck that was being driven by Michael Hackney was driving almost hit him on US 301. He says his son allowed Hackney to pass, but Hackney then hit the brakes and got out of his truck. Warrants indicate Hackney hit the 16-year-old with a closed fist and grabbed his glasses. Herring says his son is nervous to drive again, but he's grateful he's just walking away with some scratches.
You know, we've covered these incidents where people don't walk away. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I thought about that. Yeah, that's scary because we don't know if things went differently. Maybe he didn't walk away.
By the way, Hackney is facing misdemeanor charges.
Police say an employee who shot and killed a man at a Days Inn hotel in Raleigh acted in self-defense. Police were called to the hotel on Glenwood Avenue on Wednesday night for a trespassing report. Police say a hotel employee shot 35-year-old Byron Bracey several times. Bracey later died. Police say no charges will be filed against the employee.
A shooting suspect who barricaded himself inside an apartment building in Rocky Mount is due in court today. 21-year-old Quincy Sutton faces several charges. Officers were called to the Rolling Meadows apartments around 1:30 in the morning Thursday. This is the story we showed you live as it was happening during our morning newscasts yesterday. The officers found a 23-year-old man who had been shot. That includes assault with a deadly weapon. Sutton is also being charged in connection with the shooting on August 2nd.
First on WRAL, a nonprofit run by the wife of former Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson is now being sent to collections. The nonprofit is called Balanced Nutrition. It helped child care businesses get reimbursed by the federal government for food purchases. State officials say Balanced Nutrition overbilled the government and now has to pay back more than $100,000. WRAL state government reporter Paul Spey explains how the government is trying to get the money.
The Department of Health and Human Services told Balanced Nutrition a few months ago that they owed $101,000. Well, then in March, they sent this letter saying, hey, it's time to pay up. They didn't get anything. So they sent another letter. That's this one from April saying, hey, time's running out. You need to pay this money. They still didn't get anything. So they sent the case to collections. It's now under the jurisdiction of the Department of Justice.
Lately. And WRAL reporters reached out to representatives of Balanced Nutrition to see how the nonprofit plans to respond to the state's fine. They did not respond to our calls or emails. For more on the story, go to the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com.
Well, recovery work is far from over. That's the message from state transportation officials nearly a year after Helene caused widespread damage in the mountains. NCDOT says it spent around $600 million in 8 counties that make up the Asheville region. It estimates the costs could reach $2.5 billion. More than 90 bridges need to be rebuilt. That process could take years.
Time now 8:09. Frankenstein cars. Criminals putting stolen parts in legally purchased vehicles. What police say you need to know before you buy.
An Arizona tea price hike, why the cost may be going up for the first time in decades.
And we had more sunshine to start our day, but some places have had some low cloud cover across the area. You can see from our WRAL Garner Tower camera, some low clouds there. And we'll see more sunshine throughout the day with low rain chances. I'll break down that rain chance for your Friday and for the weekend. That's coming up. Time now coming up on 8:13 on this Friday morning. More sunshine towards Fayetteville, so should some extra clouds closer to Raleigh this morning. But more sunshine here in Fayetteville and Sand Hills, looking nice this morning. Temperature is pretty comfortable in the mid-70s across the region. It's 77 in Fayetteville, 74 in Clinton, Goldsboro at 76 degrees. Sanford, more sunshine there, sitting at 73 to start our day on this Friday. By this afternoon, again, I mentioned a chance for some isolated showers and storms, so watch out for that today. Could see a localized flooding threat. I'll talk more about that in detail in a bit, but highs at right around 90 degrees, so more seasonable this afternoon. Could have our first 90-degree day of the month. Ken?
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Let's start to the east of Raleigh this morning. Give you a live look of I-87 Highway 64. Those westbound lanes coming toward us this morning, flowing nicely in all directions, which is unusual this time of the morning for that area. But as far as all the major routes coming into the capital city, you're just looking at a 3-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest. Similarly in Durham, very little to no delays. I-885, you may be looking at a 1 to 3 minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the cartoonist and on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
If you are in the market for a used car, buyer beware. Raleigh police warning about so-called Frankenstein vehicles. It's when thieves put stolen car parts on legally purchased frames. 28-year-old Caleb Jones is charged with altering serial numbers and possession of stolen property. This comes after police found a 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk like this, valued at over $82,000. The vehicle identification number on the frame was for a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland. That's worth only $9,000 to $12,000.
So they'll legally obtain the chassis for the lower end model type car so that they have paperwork for it, and then a higher end model is stolen. And then that higher end model is taken to an area where it is dismantled for the parts.
Police suggest comparing notes on something like a Carfax report with what you see in person. Any differences should be a red flag that you are buying a monster.
Chris Lovingood here in the WRAL Live Center. And within the past, 10 or 15 minutes, we saw the Air Force One actually just took off from Joint Base Andrews and is headed to Alaska. Of course, this is all a part of President Donald Trump set to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And the goal is to try to come to some kind of peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. But overnight, both Ukraine and Russia exchanged strikes with each other. So what progress will we see today? We'll be watching for that here on WRAL News.
A Minnesota grand jury indicted the man accused of shooting and killing a state lawmaker and her husband. Vince Bolter is charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder. He's accused of killing Minnesota State House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark back on June 14th. Mark is from the Raleigh area. Bolter is also charged with attempted murder. That's for wounding State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette. If convicted, Bolter could be sentenced to life without parole.
The sentence of this court.
Attorneys for the gunman who killed 10 people at a Buffalo supermarket in 2022 wants his federal charges dropped. They say there were not enough black people or other minority groups on the grand jury that indicted Peyton Gendron. They argue that his constitutional rights to a jury drawn from a cross-section of the community were violated. Gendron is currently serving life without parole after pleading guilty on state charges. He could face the death penalty if convicted on federal charges.
The redistricting showdown in Texas may be ending soon. State Democrats are signaling they could return to the state. This would allow Republicans to pass new maps President Donald Trump supports. Before they return, though, Democrats want that special session to end. They want California Democrats to release their own map to offset Republican gains in Texas.
DrinkMate recalling more than 100,000 bottles across the U.S. and Canada over concerns they could explode. Several people have reported cuts and other injuries. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says the recall pertains to DrinkMate's 1-liter bottles with expiration dates between January and October of next year. The agency has more specific product details in a recall notice on their website. They were sold by major retailers nationwide, and customers are urged to throw them away or contact DrinkMate for a free replacement. And Arizona iced tea considering raising the price of its iconic 99-cent cans. That's according to the company's co-founder. He told the New York Times that the potential change is a result of President Donald Trump's tariff on imported aluminum from Canada. The 22-ounce tall boy cans have been 99 cents for almost 30 years. They account for around half of the 2 billion cans that Arizona sells every year.
Katy Perry in Raleigh celebrating Caribbean culture at a much anticipated anniversary.
Yeah, time for a look at your out and about weekend best bets. Pop star Katy Perry will be in the Triangle this weekend. She'll be performing at the Lenovo Center this Sunday as part of her Lifetimes tour. Special guest Rebecca Black will join her. The concert starts at 7 p.m.
And an event near and dear to my heart, the Carib Mask Festival returning to downtown Raleigh tomorrow. The event is put on by the Raleigh-Durham Afro-Caribbean Association in celebration of Caribbean cultures. The festival at City Plaza will include a parade of bands, food, and entertainment. It all gets underway at noon with the parade, followed by the Festival Village, and wraps up at 8 p.m.
And the Rialto in Raleigh celebrating 50 years of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The theater will be screening the cult classic film twice this weekend, midnight tonight and then 9 p.m. on Saturday. Tickets are available online. And for more weekend fun, visit WRAL.com and search Out and About.
In the Salvation Army of Wake County, helping children get ready for the new school year that's set to begin and for traditional calendar schools. The group will give out 600 backpacks during its Stuff the Bus school supply giveaway that's happening at the Salvation Army Community Center on Wake Forest Road right here in Raleigh. The giveaways will start in about an hour and will last until about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Of course, WRAL has you covered for the start of the traditional calendar school year. Find out where to find the cheapest supplies, how to prepare your child for the first day, and other pertinent information. You can find all that information on WRAL.com. Search Back to School.
And this month, we are helping local animal shelter pets find forever homes. It is for our Clear the Shelters adoption campaign for the entire month of August. The Happy Hills Animal Foundation is reducing dog adoption fees to $25. Give a furry friend a fresh start. To learn more about this and other local events, go to WRAL.com/shelters. Okay, well, you don't see this every day at the beach. Look at this. Wow. Multiple tornado warnings were issued in Brunswick County yesterday. A water spout was reported near Ocean Isle Beach. Luckily, nobody was hurt, but that is, that's not what you want to see at the beach.
Yeah. So we got some brand new information about Aaron.
Okay.
So let's get over to meteorologist Graham Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
Yeah, got the 8 a.m. advisory not too long ago, and with that, they noticed that there's not a change in the maximum wind speed, but there is still some better organization. And we're going to continue to track a better organization in Aaron throughout the course of this morning and of this afternoon. What I'm watching closely is the center of Aaron and looking at the thunderstorm activity. On the west side of it, not as many showers and storms, but on the south, east, and north side, there's a good coverage of showers and storms there. Once it gets better organized in the center of this storm, this will likely strengthen into a hurricane, which will likely be here soon. Again, Air Force and NOAA hurricane hunters are inside of this storm collecting data right now. Winds at 70 miles per hour now is the maximum wind speed, 520 miles east of the northern Leeward Islands. That's as the 8 a.m. advisory moving west-northwest at 17 miles per hour. Track remains unchanged. We'll go to new track at the 11 a.m. advisory most likely. Moving to the west-northwest, then to the northwest, then to the north. Still tracking off the coastline, moving to the north, then moving to the north and east. You can see current forecast models showing it move to the northwest, then to the north, then quickly moving to the north and east. Again, this is moving away from the coastline. Still could bring some rough surf into the back half of next week, but do not cancel your plans at the coastline this weekend. Things are looking great. Could have some rough surf in the next week as Aaron tracks offshore. North Hills, you can see scattered cloud cover continues there. We had some breaks in the cloud cover this morning, but some more clouds have worked their way back in. behind that area of low pressure that's moving to the south and east. Temperatures, though, are still comfortable. Mid-70s across the region. By this afternoon, highs at around 90 degrees, so a warmer day because we'll have more sunshine. And we'll still have a chance for some isolated showers and storms as well. Here's Futurecast. You can see by 1, 2 o'clock, some isolated showers. Maybe a brief storm pops up, and that will continue through around 3, 4 o'clock as well. These are going to be very hit or miss. So that's why that range is only at 30% for today. With that, though, we could still see some localized flooding, just like we saw last night. Some of those heavier downpours can cause some ponding or some minor flooding. Lower rain chances in the back half of the weekend. Look at Sunday, 91 degrees by then, staying in the low 90s through much of next week, which is a chance for some isolated showers and storms. Ken?
All right, great. Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. That crash I told you about in the downtown Raleigh area, boy, it definitely has cleared up quite a bit. It was causing huge delays, but all those delays, likely that crash is probably off to the side of the road right now, so you're not seeing any problems this morning. So if you're getting ready to head into the downtown area, it's all free and clear. This crash on Jones Franklin Road over in Cary near Barringer Drive just happened in the last few minutes. We're not seeing any delays in the area, but just be mindful of those police activity. I-40 in Fayetteville Road flowing nicely in all directions. In terms of other major routes heading into the Bowl City, you can see it right here. Very little to no delays whatsoever, so which is really good news. Similarly, here in the capital city, we're not seeing any major slowdowns. Just about 3 minutes of our friends in Wake Forest.
All right, thank you very much, Ken. And making roads safer. A new state highway patrol effort aims to reduce road dangers. The change is happening in our state after a crash that killed 6 people.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning and happy Friday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. With all the rain we saw last night, the weekend finally looking a little better. Meteorologist Grant Skinner here to tell us more.
Yeah, low rain chances for the weekend. Highs right around 90 degrees, so seasonable across the area. A chance for some isolated showers and storms today. And with that, we could see some localized flooding. We're leaving that rain chance at 30%. For your Saturday, mix of clouds and sunshine. Highs right around 90. More sunshine for your Sunday. High of 91 degrees. And next week, we'll keep more chances for isolated showers and storms. Temperatures staying seasonable, also tracking air, and I'll have more updates coming on next half hour on Fox 50. Ken?
All right, Grant, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. I-40 Rock Quarry Road, the westbound lanes moving away from us, flowing nicely in all directions. In terms of all the major routes, well, many of them, I should say, coming into the capital city, really and truly, our friends in Wake Forest, you're just looking at a 3-minute delay if you're coming in on US 1 Capitol Boulevard, if you will. Over in Durham, no delays to report whatsoever. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown on I-885, probably maybe 1 to 3 minutes. I'll have another update at the bottom of the hour over at Fox 50.
Thanks, Ken. Parts of the Triangle are drying off this morning after heavy rains overnight. The fast-moving storm created dangerous driving conditions. Video shows downed trees on cars and vehicles stranded in standing water. Most floodwaters began receding shortly after the rain. And we are trying to learn new information about a heavy law enforcement presence in Harnett County overnight. Video shows deputies and fire crews at a home on McCoytown Road near Highway 24 surrounded by tape. Police at the scene would not confirm why they were there. Next on Fox 50, move-in weekend for college students across the Triangle. And coming up on Today, Conan Gray performs on the plaza.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 8:30, Wake County storms cleanup. Down trees and roads flooded after yesterday's severe storms. The area is hit hardest by heavy rain and debris.
And some isolated showers and storms possible today with a low-end threat for flooding, but less rain into the weekend. I'll break down those rain chances and how hot we'll get today. That's coming up.
Health plan hikes. Changes to the state health plan could mean higher costs for hundreds of thousands of state workers. The overhaul in the works, and when people could begin paying more for their coverage. You'll have all that and more coming up in this half hour. We always appreciate your time here at Fox 50. I'm Ken Smith.
And Michelle McConaughey. Everybody's talking about this rain we had last night. I didn't hear a thing.
What?
I did not hear a thing. I don't know what happened. I was so tired. I slept through the entire
It came
storm.
down with a vengeance.
Yes, it did. And meteorologist Grant Skinner's laughing because he's like, how did you not hear that?
I mean, it was pounding against my window. I think that's the big thing there. There's also some thunder and lightning in for some spots, but for me, it was just that pounding against the window, that heavy rain. It felt like it was raining sideways at times. You could see some spots across the triangle seeing about 1.5 to 2+ inches of rain. That was, again, within an hour or 2 hour window last night, so a pretty significant amount of rain for some spots. We mentioned this yesterday. With any of those heavier downpours, you could see 1 to 3 inches of rain, and today there's still a low-end threat for some flooding. Fortunately, this morning it is very quiet. Just some isolated showers and some storms possible into this afternoon, so we're going to keep a close eye on that. Offshore, way offshore, we're still tracking, of course, Tropical Storm Erin. Maximum winds right now at 70 miles per hour. I'll have another update on Erin, what the latest advisory is showing us, and also what to expect with the forecast into the weekend and next week. That's coming up.
Now, in the WRAL Traffic Center, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown there on I-40 westbound in the Orange County area. I'll keep an eye on that and let you know how much that's going to affect your morning commute. Down here in the area of Garner, we have a crash on Timber Drive in the westbound lane near Aversburg Road. We're not seeing any delays there, but if that sounds familiar to you, just watch for some police activity. This serious crash on Jones Franklin Road in Cary near Barrington Drive. Again, we're not seeing any delays in the area, but just be mindful of police officers working that scene. Let's take you outside, give you a live look, shall we? Of I-40 and Rock Quarry Road. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning and flowing nicely in all directions. In terms of other major routes coming into the capital city, boy, on a Friday morning, look at this. Just 3 minutes coming in from Wake Forest and US 1 Capitol Boulevard. And similarly in the Bull City, we're not seeing any major delays in terms of any of the major routes. I am seeing a little bit of a slowdown on I-885. If you're using 885 to get into Durham this morning, you're just looking at a 3-minute delay, just 1 minute if you're using I-885 to get to I-40. If you're getting ready to head into the car, tune us in on the radio. We'll keep you updated, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Cleanup underway across the triangle as heavy rain and fast-moving storms downed trees and left roads underwater and impassable. Ali Calabar is live in Cary this morning, showing us the impact still being felt as you head out the door. Ali, we saw a trash can in the middle of the road. Trees came down on cars. It's scary out there.
Yes, that water came up pretty high here. This is Warren Avenue in Cary, and you can see how high it rose. With this water line here, it flooded this car, one of the many impacts we saw with those overnight downpours. Downed trees, flooded roads, and stranded vehicles. The impacts from overnight downpours. A tree fell on top of an SUV on Western Boulevard around 11:30. It caused a family to crash. On Capitol Boulevard, floodwaters trapped vehicles. There was a similar situation on I-40 where a handful of vehicles are now stranded. And here is what's left of those floodwaters still draining here on Warren Avenue. We're working to find out the extent of the damage left from those downpours. Reporting in Cary, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
And we are trying to learn new information about a large law enforcement presence at Harnett County overnight. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker on McCoytown Road near Highway 24. The video shows deputies and fire crews at a home surrounded by tape. Police at the scene would not confirm why they were at that home.
College students and families back in the Triangle. Move-in efforts continue already around NC State and UNC as well. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live on campus at NC State this morning, where Wolfpack families are moving in. And Kelsey, people who drive around campus need to be aware of that extra traffic they'll be running into.
College students are moving in across the triangle. So if Western Boulevard is a part of your morning commute, head out early and give yourself a little bit of extra time because thousands of students are moving in at NC State today. You may want to avoid these 3 streets if you're driving near campus: Varsity Drive, Dan Allen Drive, and Morill Drive. Check out this video of the Wolfpack class of 2029 moving in yesterday. Students will be moving into University Towers today. That's near Hillsborough Street and Dan Allen Drive. Expect traffic to be heavier than normal in that area. We also caught a glimpse of students at UNC moving in. Students started moving in there on Wednesday. Move-in is scheduled to wrap up on Sunday. Duke students will start moving in tomorrow. Now, university officials there say that they're expecting a lot of traffic near East and West Campus, so be mindful of that if you're driving in Durham this weekend. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
All right, state employees, want you to listen closely. Your health plan is expected to cost more next year. The plan is expected to get a major overhaul then. Well, today the Health Plan Board is set to approve a long list of changes at its meeting today. Most of the plan's 750,000 members will pay more. State employees with higher salaries could see premiums double or even triple. It depends on what plan they have, of course. The executive director of the State Employee Association says these changes are disappointing.
They're not necessary. Everyone keeps saying they're necessary. They're only necessary and the only thing to do because the other things they could have done, which is to stop overpaying hospital systems, that's been neglected and kicked down the road, and it's just too politically volatile for people to address. So state employees and retirees are the easy path.
Employees earning less will see smaller increases. Some who have children enrolled may even pay a little less.
Today, the NCDOT is set to dedicate a Raleigh bridge in honor of fallen Wake County Deputy Ned Byrd. This past Monday marked 3 years since he was shot and killed during what investigators call an ambush in 2022. The bridge on Auburn-Knightdale Road over the Neuse River will now be known as Deputy Ned P. Byrd Bridge. Byrd's family, friends, and colleagues will gather to honor his life and service. This is happening at 11 a.m. at Springfield Baptist Church. A Warren County pastor facing child sex charges. The SBI confirms Shelton Burkhart faces 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. He worked at Zion Global Methodist Church in Norlina.
Time is 8:37 here in the WRAL Live Center. We're keeping our eye on what will come of the summit between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. What you're seeing here is video of President Trump getting onto Air Force One to leave Joint Base Andrews to head to Alaska. That's where that summit is happening. And the hope is that some kind of peace deal between Ukraine and Russia can be worked out. But it is important to note that overnight, both Russia and Ukraine sent strikes to each other's countries. So will we see some kind of progress? We'll be watching very closely here on WRAL News.
Loved ones of London Powers had a balloon release in her honor. They gathered outside the Walgreens in Durham to pay their respects to the 21-year-old North Carolina Central University student. She was killed earlier this week in a domestic violence shooting. According to Durham police, Powers was shot by Damian Tinsley. Powers' family says he turned the gun on himself, by the way. London's mother says her daughter recently ended an abusive relationship with Tinsley. She was moving out of their shared apartment at the time of that shooting.
Really, I'm feeling so overwhelmed about the support and love she has here. I knew she had a Durham family because how she spoke of them, but to actually see it, it's always heartbreaking. And I know they feel the same pain I feel.
Tia Powers tells WRAL her daughter's death emphasizes the importance of acknowledging the signs of domestic abuse before it's too late.
A home health aide charged with stealing money from an 89-year-old woman is now out of jail on bond this morning. Victoria Lowry is facing 5 felonies in Durham. The sheriff's office says the daughter of the victim noticed missing checks. 3 of them were written to Lowry. Several bottles of the victim's medication were also missing. Lowry's next court date is in September.
A man is charged with killing his own father at a Johnston County hotel. This happened Wednesday afternoon at the Sleep Inn near I-40 and Highway 36 in Garner. The Johnston County Sheriff's Office arrested 20-year-old David White of Anger. Officers say he shot and killed his father, 58-year-old Anthony White, inside a room at that hotel. Anthony White lived at the hotel and also worked there. David White is charged with murder. He's being held at the Johnston County Jail.
Starting today, the nation's capital is implementing a temporary youth curfew zone in D.C.'s Navy Yard. D.C. police say the curfew covers the area shaded in yellow on your screen. Kids 17 and under will not be allowed to gather in a group of 9 or more in the shaded area from 8 to 11 p.m. A citywide curfew in place until the end of the month starts at 11 and ends at 6 a.m. the next morning. This is the 4th time this summer D.C. police have implemented this curfew zone for kids.
Right now, the Wake County Animal Center is completely full. The kennels are at capacity, and center leaders are asking for your help. As part of the Clear the Shelters campaign, the center is waiving adoption fees. If you can't adopt right now, fostering is also an option to help animals who could use a home.
The Highway Patrol has created a new safety campaign in Charlotte just weeks after a crash that killed 6 people. There will be more troopers on Interstate 485 for the next 3 months. Last month, 6 people died when a teenager crashed into a van while merging lanes. The Highway Patrol says the basics really matter when it comes to staying safe.
We don't want to be literally a broken record, but it comes down to speed. Comes down to distractions, comes down to the things you can do preventative-wise as far as wearing your seatbelts. Impairment, we've made great strides throughout the years on our impairment statistics.
And the NTSB is investigating that crash. A preliminary report is expected soon.
Hazmat evacuation. Federal offices in New York City, the target of a suspicious package. Investigation into an envelope with white powder.
And AI in the morgue. A coroner trying to use artificial intelligence in cold cases. How the technology is reuniting lost loved ones with the living.
You're looking live at Chapel Hill this morning. We're looking at dry conditions for your morning commute, and we're expecting a break from the dreary wet weather we've been experiencing. Meteorologist Grant Skinner explaining the heat we could feel coming up this weekend.
Almost 8:46 on this Friday morning. Some low clouds still lingering over in Clinton. Most spots have seen some breaks in the clouds this morning, but there's still some lingering cloud cover behind this area of low pressure. And with that, a chance for some isolated showers and storms into this afternoon. But most places will be drier. Temperatures in the mid-70s this morning, 74 in Raleigh, 79 Southern Pines, Durham at 74 degrees, Roxborough sitting at 75 this morning. And at the beach today, temperatures will sit in the mid to upper 80s. A chance for some isolated showers and storms by tomorrow. Still a chance for some brief showers and storms, but the rain chance won't be overwhelming for the weekend. Surf won't be too rough this weekend. Watching it next week as Aaron will move offshore to the east. We could have some rougher surf into the back half of next week. Ken?
Hi, Greg. Happening now in the WRAL traffic center. Just a few minutes ago, within the hour, talked about a tree down on Highway 98. Of course, it's cleared. We've got some new video of what that scene looked like with the help of Charles Bradley. You can see crews were on the scene clearing away that debris. That was closed for almost an hour this morning between Tarboro Road and Bethlehem Church Road there on Highway 98. But if Highway 98 is part of your morning commute, just know that that tree has completely cleared. Here's a live look at I-87 New Hope Road, and that's really what we're seeing throughout most of our major routes in Raleigh and Durham this morning.
All right, thank you, Ken. The FBI is analyzing white powder inside an envelope opened inside a federal building in New York City. The building houses New York's headquarters of the FBI, Homeland Security, and ICE. ICE is using part of it as a detention and processing center. New York police and fire departments evacuated that office. There were no reports of anyone getting sick. A home in Florida was destroyed when a construction crane fell right onto it. The crane was doing work on utility poles. The crane's owner says it tipped over because it was on top of an underground water line that collapsed under its weight. The homeowner says his son's bedroom took the majority of the damage.
You can't live in that house right now. There's no roof. There's no ceiling. Got a place to lay my head, but it's just devastating.
The accident knocked out power for the entire neighborhood. Water was also shut off to repair that main break.
And mercifully, his son was not in that
Thank
bedroom.
Goodness.
My
Yes.
goodness. Scary.
Yes.
Well, starting at the end of the month, the U.S. government will no longer send you checks. The Treasury Department announcing all money going out will come through digital payments. Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett says switching to all digital payments will reduce fraud and theft. Artificial intelligence may help authorities in South Carolina identify 2 men who can't be laid to rest until their names are learned. This type of John Doe cases is common, but innovations in technology and AI may help move them forward. Authorities are now able to search wider databases for matching DNA samples, and AI is allowing them to create lifelike facial reconstructions for the deceased.
It's incredibly frustrating because we're so close. I would have hoped that somebody would have seen his profile on NamUs or some police department that was working a missing persons case.
The Justice Department estimates there are around 40,000 unidentified deaths a year.
New body camera video shows the moment an officer in Tennessee rescued people and a dog from floodwaters. Look at this. Officer Sylvia Montana's body cam recorded her helping after water overtook an interstate. She guided people to higher ground, even carried their luggage. The Chattanooga airport recorded more than 6 inches of rain on Tuesday. It was the second wettest day in the city's history. All right, let's take a look at what's trending. Denzel Washington's warning to fans and host of this year's VMAs.
Yeah, here's a look at what's trending this morning. So let's talk about Denzel Washington for a minute, right? He is telling people you will catch him on the big screen, of course, even on stage, but not on social media. While promoting his newest movie, Highest to Lowest, Washington revealed he's not on Instagram. So if anyone sees anything with his name on any Instagram account, he's telling you right now, it's not him.
It's fake. Yeah, it's an imposter. His new movie hits select theaters today. It'll be on Apple TV's Plus on September 5th.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
He might have a great following if he were on
If he
Instagram.
was on social media, I know, I'd follow him. All right, LL Cool J hosting this year's MTV Video Music Awards. This is the first time he will host the awards by himself. He was previously a co-host with Nicki Minaj and Jack Harlow back in 2022. He has also been nominated for an award this year in the Best Hip Hop category. That award show will be on September 7th. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, and he's always so good when he's hosting anything.
Oh, yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Boy, it's we had some new information come out at 8 o'clock on
about Aaron.
So let's get over to meteorologist Grant Skinner tracking that and what our forecast will look like.
Yeah, so watching closely what changes we'll see with Aaron throughout the course of the day today. Of course, we mentioned several times it will likely reach hurricane strength today and could become a major hurricane later this weekend. 70-mile-per-hour winds, though, still with the 8 a.m. advisory, 520 miles east of the northern Leeward Islands. Pressure is now up to 998 millibars. So some small fluctuations with the pressure this morning, but the center is starting to become better organized, likely to become a hurricane later today. It'll move to the west-northwest, then to the northwest, then to the north, and current forecast models have it moving north, then to the north and east over the next week. But again, likely becoming a major hurricane. This will bring rough surf to all the islands here, all the way up the east coast. We'll have some rough surf as well in the next week. But again, staying offshore, moving to the northwest, then north, then to the north and east in the next week. We could see some changes with the exact forecast track. We'll continue to keep you updated on air and online, all of our platforms. Staying warm into the weekend. Temperatures at around 90 this afternoon, and the heat index climbs into Sunday and Monday as well. So that's a measure of, again, how we'll feel outside. Feeling like around 100 degrees, so not the intense heat we felt at other parts of this summer, but still feeling hotter out there, more that typical summertime heat. Into Tuesday and Wednesday, not feeling as hot, but highs will still be right around 90 degrees. For your Friday, average highs, temperatures are right around 90 in Raleigh, 89 Benson, Southern Pines at 90, Lewisburg at 89. If we can get some breaks in the cloud cover and we'll hit 90 degrees today, that'll be the first 90-degree day of the month. It's been unseasonably cool across our area with the increased cloud cover, increased chances for showers and storms, just an unusual pattern across our area. By this afternoon, though, a few breaks in the clouds, but some isolated showers and storms can't be ruled out. This is 2:15. You can see some pop-up showers and storms here or there. With some of the heavier downpours, we could see some localized flooding. That can't be ruled out, so keep in mind some ponding or minor flooding is still possible with some of those heavier downpours through the rest of the day today. The weekend, though, looking really great. Highs at around 90 degrees, not too hot, not too humid. Rain chances dropping off into Sunday as well, so that'll be nice. Into Sunday, you can see 91 degrees, 92 by Monday. Highs still at around 90 through much next week, with some chances for some isolated showers and storms.
All right, thanks, Grant. And before we go to break, here's a look at your winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic next.